Hi guys, 18dap here and welcome to this match preview for Tuesday night's League 2 fixture at the Eco Power Stadium. It's Doncaster Rovers versus Stevenage. Let's get the video started. So guys, welcome to this match preview, Tuesday night's fixture. It's a tough game at the Eco Power Stadium for the Rovers. It's against high-flying Stevenage, so it's going to be a very tough one. But I'm looking forward to it. New era, so let's get into it. If you are an existing subscriber, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you so much for sticking around. It is greatly appreciated. If this video has brought you to the channel, please consider clicking subscribe so you don't miss any future content. There will be a match day vlog coming up tomorrow evening for this one, hopefully. There's plenty to show you. But if you are new to the channel, this is the format that we go through match previews, look at previous meetings between the two clubs. Not too many that I could find to talk about. Current form across all competitions. Player profile, I choose a Doncaster Rovers individual to talk about, and then I choose the opponent's one to watch from my point of view. Obviously, you know your club much better than what I do, so please, if you think there's somebody else, pop them in the comments down below so us Rovers fans know who to look out for in tomorrow night's fixture. And then we finish the video off with three predictions, a predicted team lineup thanks to FanHub. Me and the family have got predictions league table, there's an update on that, and then the all-important score prediction at the very end. So without further ado, let's get into previous meetings. So as I mentioned, couldn't find too many to talk about. We've only played each other 5 times from my knowledge. Rovers coming out on top on 3 of those occasions. Stevenage winning 1, and we've shared the spoils on the solitary game. So we drill into those last 5 and we go back to 2012 in League 1 where that was the draw. It finished 1-1 on that occasion, and then the repeat fixture or the return fixture away from home, the Rovers came out on top 2-1. And then we jumped to 2014 in the FA Cup, again at the Keepmoat Stadium, where Stevenage, this was the game that they won. They won that one 3-2 and progressed in the FA Cup. And then we go to the 16-17 season, where it was a double for Donny. It was a 4-3 win away from home. I'd enjoy a scoreline flipped tomorrow evening. A 4-3 win at home would be very, very nice. Definitely one for the neutral. But then on the home fixture, I'd take this tomorrow as well. It was a 1-0 win. So over our 5 games that I could find, Rovers out in front, on top. But as we'll see in a second, with the current form, it's going to be tough to come out on top on this game, I think. And that takes us on to current form. So Rovers coming into this one without a win in 5, a defeat, a draw, 2 defeats, and then a draw in our last outing. Stevenage on the other hand, 2 wins, a draw, a win, and then a defeat at the weekend. The new manager bounce for the Rovers wasn't quite there on Saturday. Danny Schofield coming in. So yeah, the new manager bounce wasn't there in terms of the result, but the performance had a few more positives than what we've seen over recent weeks in terms of performance level and what we've got from the players. So green shoots, we'll call it that. We had decent possession, shots coming at the end of it, which we've not quite seen this season. So hopefully we are starting to see Rovers turn a corner. George Miller grabbed an equaliser, which he atoned for his missed penalty at the end of the first half, and if that's gone in, or the return, like the rebound where he's headed it and it's gone over, if that's gone in at the end of the first half, potentially it's a different game and we push on and win it, but it wasn't meant to be. We got the draw. It's better than getting beat. Mentioning the green shoots of recovery or starting to turn a corner a little bit, Schofield had only had 2 days with the squad, 1 training session, so I fully expected nothing major changing on Saturday, and with Stevenage coming so soon after it, is it a little bit too soon to start seeing the philosophies and the game plan implemented fully? I think so. So that's why I think this is going to be as tough a game as any, and I don't think we'll see massive changes once again, but I think it'll be little steps, and we'll slowly start to see the team be moulded into what a Danny Schofield team is meant to be. On to Stevenage. It's been a great start for them under Steve Evans. It sees them sitting second in the table, just 1 point behind leaders Leyton Orient. Leyton Orient do have that game in hand though, but success hasn't just been kept to the league so far for Stevenage as well. They're looking ahead to a 3rd round Carabao Cup tie at home to Charlton, so they'll be looking to progress in that one. And they also topped their Papa John's group with 3 wins out of 3, 9 points. So yeah, the success has been spread across all the competitions that they've been playing in this season. It just shows what decent a team and what decent an outfit Steve Evans is creating at Stevenage. So as I said, it's going to be a very, very tough game. They don't seem to dominate games though. Looking back through the more recent fixtures, the possession has been fairly even. I think against Swindon they had about 30% possession, but ran out winners 2-0. But once they've got the ball, they use it really, really well. So I think we need to be aware of that coming into this fixture tomorrow. And although if they've not got the ball for too long, it doesn't matter. They've still got the ability to punish us with a small amount of possession. So yeah, I think it's a typical Steve Evans team. Soak up the pressure and hit and succeed with that. But last time out, it was a disappointing defeat against Northampton 3-2. And all that's done is just tightened it up at the top. A win against them, it'd put them top, and it'd just spread that gap a little bit between them and third. So Stevenage will be looking to bounce straight back and give a response tomorrow night. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting fixture. Moving on to player profile. So this is for the Rovers, and I'm not going with a player this time. We're going with Danny Schofield, the new man at the helm, and for me, he's kind of split the Rovers fans down the middle. Very little experience at this level, and many fans, including myself, thought experience should have been leaned towards in this appointment. I think we've gone with inexperienced people before in Andy Butler and Gary McSheffrey, and it's just not quite worked. It's not quite panned out how the club thought it would. So it was a surprise for me that we went down a similar route. Having said that though, he'll get my full backing, and I'll judge the success or the lack of it, if that is the case, at the end of the season. I'm not going to jump straight onto his back if we're not winning games or it's not changing drastically. I think it's going to be a slow burner. So he'll get my support throughout the season. I feel he wasn't given a fair opportunity or a fair crack at the whip at Huddersfield. I think he had 2 weeks of a pre-season. They sold a lot of their players. So yeah, I think he's got a decent squad at Donny for League Two, and let's see what he can do with them. Danny's also got 2 months now to assess his squad. I think the players need to show that they need to be part of Danny's plans going forward. And if they don't show enough ability or enough about them in the next couple of months, potentially they'll find themselves transfer listed out of the door, and Danny will bring players in January. So it's a pivotal couple of months for Doncaster Rovers and Danny Schofield. Coppinger, he's come out and backed this. I think he was heavily involved with the appointment, and he's come out and said that he wanted a coach, a fully focused person on coaching the players and getting the best out of them, not a manager who is spread thin and splitting his time over absolutely everything. So I think, well, Kopp said that Danny was on the radar for some time, and Kopp's never led us astray as a player, so I don't think he'll start doing that now as head of footballing operations. So in terms of Danny, welcome to the club. Wasn't my first choice, but I am happy to eat humble pie, and I hope it's a successful period for the club. Moving on to the opponent's one to watch. For this one, I have gone with Danny Rose, 28 years old, centre forward, 17 appearances this season, 6 goals and 2 assists. And the thing with Stevenage, they're getting goals from here, there and everywhere. 13 players have got on the score sheet across all competitions this season. 12 players have created the chances, so we literally need to be on guard with every single player. But I chose Danny Rose because he's leading goal scorer at Stevenage, and I think he just gets in and around those positions to put the ball away when it is created. So for me, Danny Rose has got to be the one to watch tomorrow. I think if we cut him out and well, I say cut him out, like I say, the 13 goal scorers and 12 people chipping in with assists. So we need to be on our game to get anything tomorrow night, I think. But as I said at the start of the video, you know your club much better than what I do. Is there anybody else other than Danny Rose who we should be watching out for in tomorrow's fixture? Onto the predicted team lineup. This is thanks to FanHub. If you've not downloaded the app yet, please go ahead and do so. Plenty of features to get your teeth stuck into. And for me, it's got to be the predicted team lineup, and this is what I'm going with in tomorrow night's game. Danny Schofield went with a back five, I think it was, on Saturday against Crewe. So I'm going to stick with that. Mitchell in goal. Three centre backs of Williams, Anderson and Long. Noyle and Maxwell on the wings. It's kind of a right and left wing back maybe. A midfield three of Clayton, Biggins and Close. I'd like to see two up front still, so I've gone with Miller and Agard. So a 5-3-2, but I think if we're on the attack, you can go back to a back three. Clayton and Close drop into the middle with Noyle and Maxwell coming forward. Biggins moves a little bit further forward, so you'd end up going into like a 3-4-1-2 on the attack. We will see. I might be a mile off with that. It's difficult to predict a lineup when the new manager's coming, but that's my punt at the predicted team lineup for tomorrow's fixture. Onto the predicted league table. So if you're new to this, me and the family predict the scoreline for every single league game. If we get the scoreline spot on, we get 3 points. If we get the outcome of the game right, but not the result, we get 1 point. And if we get completely wrong, we get no points. And we were confident of a new manager bounce against Crewe, and all four of us went with wins. Obviously, it finished 1-1, so no points added to the table. It stays as it is. Max on top on 14 points, Chris second on 11, Dad third on 10, and me bottom on 9. Hopefully we can get some points on the board tomorrow evening. And this is the score prediction that I think will get me some points on the board tomorrow evening. As I said, Stevenage game, has it come a little bit too soon to see the full impact of Danny Schofield? I think it may have. So I am going with a tight game, an entertaining game, but I think it's going to be another 1-1 draw. And that's where I'm going to leave this one. If you've enjoyed it, big thumbs up on it for us, please. Comments in the section down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.